Who decided self-checkout was a good idea? Honestly, who? Was it you? I'm sorry. Honestly, self-checkout, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's had some good stuff to it, but I got some complaints too. I don't think people ever really fully thought it through, honestly. They told us self-checkout was supposed to make shopping faster. That's what they promised, at least. The idea at the time was like, oh, you don't even have to wait in line anymore. You just scan your own stuff and you go. Oh, really? Because every time I use self-checkout, I leave the store feeling like I just completed a 3-hour unpaid shift and I was waiting forever because these people just scan so slow. They're just taking their time. Maybe they go and see something over at the little checkout area, the snacks and stuff. Maybe they go see some M&Ms. Oh, let me go grab that real quick. Oh, there's a drink over there. Let me grab that drink. And then they scan that. Then they scan the next. They're so slow about it. They're so inconsiderate. They'll come up with a cart stacked that high and they still go to the self-checkout because whatever, they don't want to put it at the register. Dude, you're just holding it up for everyone else. And then they change their mind about what they want. So maybe they go, or from the drink area or whatever, they go grab something that they really shouldn't be because they're holding up the whole line and everyone's waiting on them. I didn't come to these places to do their labor, right? I just came there to buy toothpaste or whatever. And somehow I'm now operating a cash register. I don't work here. I don't know where anything is. I don't know how, whatever. And sometimes these machines suck. Sometimes they just won't take cards right, or they're just screaming at you for some reason. Why am I being asked to approve the transaction? I'm the freaking manager. Apparently I'm the employee now. I walk up to the machine. Welcome. Please scan your first item. All right. I scan it. Beep. Beautiful. We're off to a great start. Then I put it in the bagging area and immediately, unexpected item in bagging area. What do you mean unexpected? You told me to put it there. I put the item where you told me to put the item. That's not unexpected. That's literally the expected location. And then the machine is just sitting there, and I hate this. Please wait for assistance for what? I just scan the item. And a lot of times the workers, they're not having it either. They just walk up, they're like, sorry. And they just do whatever on the screen, and they're like, all right, you're good. It's not like they care either. Assistance for what? I scanned one item. I haven't even reached the boss fight yet. And now I'm standing there waiting for an employee, which is holding up everyone else, by the way, and the line. The employee comes over, they look at the machine. Like I said, they touch a few buttons, fixed. Great, thank you. And then they walk away, and I'm thinking, why didn't the machine just let me fix it or whatever? I guess maybe they're scared of stealing. I don't know. But obviously their system doesn't work if every time you need a human to come over and bless the register every time I put a bag down the way it didn't want me to. And sometimes the machines don't even tell you what you did wrong, so it's not like you could avoid it in the future. It just says, please wait for assistance. No, tell me what happened. I can fix it if there's an issue. I'm not stealing. Did I scan the wrong thing? Did I put it in the wrong place? Did I accidentally purchase the entire store? What happened? Just give me some information. But no, it's like talking to a government agency. Please wait. For what? Assistance. Fantastic. You finally get everything scanned. You're thinking, all right, I'm done. Nope. Now the machine wants you to know if you want to donate money. Oh my gosh, bro. There's a whole other issue with inflation, but some people are really pinching pennies, and you're using these machines and asking them if they want to make a donation. Bro, come on. Some of us out there are the one that needs the donation. Let's be honest, guys. I respect the cause. I really do. But I feel like some of these businesses should maybe be giving more of their infinite profits away. And I don't like the pressure, especially at stores that can move quickly like Aldi. The worst part is that there's always someone behind you, right? You can feel them. You haven't even turned around, but they're standing there, arms crossed, they're waiting. Some people are getting salty about it. You know what? I've gotten salty because some people take genuinely too long. Like, they're just so slow about it. You're sweating, you're trying to remember how to scan the bananas correctly, whatever. Some places require you to tap it on the screen. Some places let you scan the barcodes. Don't even get me started with the produce stuff, because produce is where self-checkout turns into a whole issue. You pick up an apple, you put it on the scale, the machine asks, search for item. Apple, you search apple, and now there's 17 apples for some reason. Red apple, green apple, gala apple, all these apples. I don't remember, I just chose an apple. Plus, sometimes these produce things have barcodes on it that you can just scan on their little ragtag scales that don't seem to always work that right. And the issue is sometimes it'll have the barcode on the bottom of the item. So, like, for example, a bag of grapes, you scan it and place it on the scale, and then it scans it twice because the barcode is right where you're weighing it. And that's where the scanner is too. So then you just scan grapes twice, and then you have to delete it. The machine doesn't let you delete it without an associate coming over and deleting it for you. So then you have to bother the associate and have to take longer, and everything's just so inefficient and annoying about that. So then you're just doing all these things, right? You're scanning, you're bagging, you're weighing produce, you're approving transactions, you're deciding whether or not to donate, you're troubleshooting the machine, you're basically running the store. Where's my paycheck? If I'm going to do all this work, I want the employee benefits. Give me a name tag, a uniform, a discount. Definitely the discount. I guess I should just clock in at 9, clock out at 5, right? 9 to 5, right? If I'm going to be an unpaid cashier, at least let me have the employee bathroom. I don't know, let me do something. And then there's the whole argument that self-checkout's supposed to reduce lines. Honestly, I don't buy it. Sometimes it does, I'll give it that. But sometimes you walk into a store and there are 8 self-checkout machines. 5 of them are closed, maybe even more. There's a few open. There's a line of 14 people. All of them have their carts up to the ceiling. Even places that have self-checkouts that say 15 items or more, people frequently go there with more than 15 items, and the workers just don't say anything. I guess they just don't want to deal with it. Understand that. People should just understand not to go to 15 or more checkout if they have more than 15 items. Did the other 7 machines unionize? The 7 machines in the store that are always closed? Are they on strike? Did they go to lunch? Why are there 8 giant machines sitting there doing absolutely nothing while 14 people are standing in line? And then the one machine that's open says, please wait for assistance. Oh my god, this is terrible. It's literally terrible. And then the employee comes over, they're like, sorry about that. Sorry? You didn't even do anything. The machine did. The machine is the problem. And somehow you're the one apologizing. That's how bad these things are. We've created a machine so annoying that humans have to frequently apologize on its behalf. And then after that, you finally pay. You tap your card. Approved. Finally, yes. Grab my bags. I'm free. I'm walking away. And then you finally hear, please take your receipt. Oh my god, I forgot the receipt. So then you turn around, you grab the receipt. The machine says, thank you for shopping with us. Don't thank me. I did your job. I should be thanking myself. I should be standing outside with a cigarette and a paycheck. I don't smoke, by the way. Instead, I'm walking to my car with a bag of groceries and the 1,000-yard stare of a man who just survived combat. And you know what? I don't fully hate self-checkout because of its technology, because I like technology. I have a computer in my pocket that can show me the entire history of human knowledge. That's incredible. But somehow we use that technology to create a machine that can't tell the difference between a bag of chips and an unexpected item. That's where I draw the line. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe self-checkout isn't that bad. Maybe I'm just terrible at using it. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe we all are. But if I'm the problem, explain to me why every single person is standing there looking just as miserable as I am, right? Because nobody looks happy at a self-checkout. Nobody walks away with, wow, that was good service. That was delightful. No, everyone leaves like they just negotiated a hostage situation. You see someone walking out from the self-checkout and you can tell they've been through something. They don't make eye contact. They just grab their bags and go because they know what happened. They know the machine knows. And now we have this weird relationship where the stores are just like rude, right? They're like, here's a machine, just do the work yourself. And we're just saying, fine, whatever. But deep down, every single one of us might be thinking the same thing. I miss the cashier. Although, probably not everyone. I'll get into that in a minute. But personally, I don't really mind handing my stuff to another human being. I don't mind standing there while my groceries are scanned by someone. I don't need to know how to check out produce or any produce codes or whatever. I miss not being accused of putting an unexpected item in the bagging area when the register just told me to do that. I miss being able to buy 6 things without needing to learn this machine, right? Now, of course, there's a few reasons people probably like it, right? They probably like the fact that some people, they're not very social, right? So they're like, oh, well, there's very little social interaction. I like that. And you know what? That's fair. I can understand that. Some people, they really want to avoid as much social interaction as they can. They don't really want to talk to people. Although I feel like it may not really be helping you, but what can you do? Some people really just don't want to talk to people. I feel like it's just a part of life you need to do sometimes, but whatever. If that helps you avoid it, then whatever. If you don't like to talk to people and you prefer the self-checkout, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But let's forget that for a second. I've seen stories all throughout of these stores going on these news stories. They're complaining. They're whining. They're like, oh, ever since we did self-checkout, stealing has gone up a little bit. We've been having more store loss with self-checkout places. Items are getting taken more. They're paying more for items and not necessarily getting money back. First off, these huge companies making ridiculous amounts of money anyways. Like, who cares? I'm not saying I advocate stealing. I'm just saying, come on, are you guys really struggling that badly? I don't think so. But anyways, they're not paying the cashiers. Now they have less job positions open for cashiers. They have less jobs available for people. They're complaining about how they're getting more stuff stolen. And that stuff is getting stolen because there's no one to really monitor their stealing. They're checking out the stuff themselves. Sometimes they're not scanning their items. Sometimes they're just clipping their items past, putting it in the bag without scanning it. And I'm like, you guys complaining about getting lost from this system are also the ones trying to use this system because you don't want to pay a cashier. Either you're going to have to take a little bit more store loss or you're going to have to start paying a cashier again. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully stores get a little better. Hopefully the software and the systems that these self-checkouts work get a little more better, a little more efficient in whatever way. Maybe self-checkouts will start to go away at some point. I don't really foresee that happening though. All we gotta do is just hope they get more efficient, right? We just gotta hope they get better. Because at the end of the day, America's trying to have constant growth and all these companies are having constant growth, pay workers less, get more money, and hopefully self-checkout does that by cutting out some of their labor costs, whatever. Don't get me wrong, I don't fully hate self-checkouts, but they just bother me in a lot of ways, especially people who are really inconsiderate while using them. They're very slow. They're not very considerate of other people. Maybe there's like, if there's a person behind you with like 2 items and you have a whole giant cart, first off, maybe you shouldn't go to self-checkout, but if you do, maybe let the person with 2 items in front of you real quick. Like, just be a nice dude. I don't know. There's so many times where someone has like a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread and I don't know, 10 things. Like, I don't even have that many things, right? But I'm like, you know what? They'd benefit a lot more from getting to use a self-checkout really quick. And if a thing says 15 items or less and you have more than 15 items, maybe stay away.